Hello everyone, welcome to our group presentation. The case number is 02 and the topic is addressing accountability and regulatory challenges in private equity, enhancing transparency and governance. And our group name is the Untouchable. And we are five members in our group: VISHAL Singh, ZAKIR Hussain, MD IKBAL Hussain, AYSHA Binete Hussain, SEEMI MURTAZA. And today I would like to talk about introduction. The purpose of this report is to examine the accountability and regulatory challenges faced by private equity organizations. Private equity, a critical component of the financial ecosystem, involves investment in companies that are not listed on public stock exchanges. While this form of investment provides significant growth potential and funding flexibility, it also raises concerns regarding oversight and transparency. The management problems addressed in this report centers around the lack of accountability and direct regulation within private equity organizations. Unlike publicly traded companies, private equity firms operate in a less regulated environment, which can lead to governance issues, ethical concerns, and financial risk. This report aims to provide a comprehensive analysis of these issues and offer recommendations for improving regulatory framework to enhance accountability. The primary audience for this report include the management team for private equity firms, shareholders, policymakers, and regulatory bodies. By targeting these stakeholders, the report seeks to influence policy decision and managerial practice that can mitigate the risk associated with private equity investments. The private equity investment. This report is structured as follows. The next section provides background and consent by exploring traditional business, organization structures, and the evolution of private equity. This is followed by as an depth analysis of current state of private equity, the species management problems, and its implication. The report concludes with proposed solution and recommendation, along with the discussion of expected outcomes. Let's go on background and consent. Business organizations around the world have traditionally been structured in several distinct ways, each with its own legal and operational characteristics. Sole traders or private unlimited organizations are the simple form where a single individual owns and operates the businesses. These entities offer complete control to the owner but come with unlimited liabilities, meaning personal assets are at risk if the business fails. Partnership, which involves two or more individuals sharing ownership, also fall under the category of private unlimited organizations. When they do not have limited liability, each partner is personally liable for the business debts of obligations. However, limited liability partnership provide a hybrid structure where partnership can limit their liability to the extent of their investment, blending features of both partnership and corporations. Moreover, private limited liability companies represent another common structure where ownership is divided among shareholders but shares are not traded publicly. These companies are offer limited liability to their owners, protecting personal assets from business debts. Public limited companies, on the other hand, can sell shares to the public and are subject to extensive regulation to protect shareholders' interests. The UK Companies Act, a comprehensive legal framework governance. These entails ensuring transparency and accountability. Furthermore, private equity organizations have emerged from the venture capital landscape, initially focusing on high risk, high rewarded investment in startup and early stage companies. Over time, private equity have evolved to include leveraged buyouts, where firms acquire established companies using significant amount of borrowed funds. Secured agent the target company's assets. This strategy allows private equity firms to maximize returns through optional improvement and financial restructuring. Caton 2023. The external environment plays a crucial role in shaping business activities, economic conditions, regulatory framework, and market dynamics influence how business operates and grow in the consent of private equity. The relatively un- unregulated environment compared to public market present unique challenges. The lack of stringent oversight can lead to governance issues such as inadequate disclosure, conflict of interest, and potential ethical violations. These factors underscore the need of a balanced approach that fosters growth while ensuring accountability and protecting shareholders' interest. And now I'm over to hand my colleague Zakir.
Hello everyone, my name is Zakir Hussain. I'm gonna talk about the problem statement and literature review of this presentation. The problem statement, the management problem addressed in this report is the pervasive lack of accountability and direct regulation within private equity organizations. Unlike publicly traded companies, private equity firms are not required to adhere to the same rigorous reporting standards and regulatory oversight, creating a significant transparency gap, says McFarland 2019. This lack of accountability can lead to various governance issues, including inadequate disclosure of financial information, conflicts of interest, and ethical lapses, says Hyatt and Genglas 2023. For stakeholders such as investors, employees, and broader communities, the implications of this regulatory void are substantial. Investors may face increased risks due to insufficient information about the firm's operations and financial health. From 2023, employees may suffer from unstable employment conditions as private equity-owned companies often undergo aggressive restructuring and cost-cutting measures. Furthermore, the broader community can be adversely affected by the potential negative social and environmental impacts of unregulated business practices. The absence of direct regulation not only poses risks to stakeholders but also undermines the integrity of financial markets. It can lead to a loss of investors' confidence and, in severe cases, contribute to financial instability. Addressing these issues is crucial for ensuring that private equity firms operate in a manner that is transparent, responsible, and aligned with the interest of all stakeholders, says Pascual and Suti 2021. Literature review. A comprehensive review of the literature reveals a growing concern among scholars and practitioners about the accountability and regulatory challenges in private equity. Case studies have highlighted the unique governance structures and of private equity firms. which often priorities short-term financial gains over long-term sustainability. These studies underscore the need for enhanced regulatory frameworks to ensure better oversight and accountability. One significant body of work by Khan and Mahmood 2023 examines the governance mechanisms in private equity and their impact on firm performance. They argue that while private equity can drive operational efficiencies, the lack of transparency and regulatory oversight can lead to opportunistic behaviors and adverse outcome for non-financial stakeholders. Similarly, Canton 2023 provide a detailed analysis of the lever grade buyout model, illustrating how high level of debt can increase financial risk and contribute to systematic instability. Recent research by Effelbaum and Bath 2014 focused on the social implications of private equity, particularly in terms of labor practices and employment outcomes. Their findings suggest that private equity ownership is often associated with the job cuts and reduced labor standards, rising ethical concern about the broader social impacts of these investments. Despite these insights, gaps remain in the literature, particularly regarding the effectiveness of various regulatory approaches to address these challenges. While some studies advocate for stricter regulation akin to this governing public companies, others suggest a more nuanced approach that balances the need for oversight with the flexibility required for private equity to thrive. This report aims to bridge these gaps by exploring innovative regulatory framework that can enhance accountability without shifting the growth potential of private equity firms. Now I'm gonna hand over SEEMI, MURTAZA, my group members, the next slides.
Hi, my name is Simi, and I'm talking about data collection and analysis of management problem. The data collection for this report exclusively involves secondary method, drawing from a comprehensive range of existing literature and reports to provide an in-depth analysis of the management problem. Secondary data will source from academic journal, industry reports, and government publications. Key academic databases such as JSTOR, Google Scholar, and PubMed will be utilized to gather relevant study and articles. These databases will offer peer-reviewed research that provide insight into the accountability and regularity challenges faced by private equity organizations. Industry reports for leading consulting firms like McKinsey and Company, PwC, and Deloitte will offer valuable perspective on current market trends, industry practice, and evolving regulatory landscape. These reports typically contain data of the financial performance, strategy, approach, and governance practice of private equity firms. Government publication and reports from regulatory bodies such as the Financial Conduct Authority and the Security and Exchange Commission will provide essential information on existing legal framework, compliance requirements, and proposed policy changes. Analytic tools and techniques will include qualitative content analysis and thematic analysis. Qualitative content analysis will be used to systematically evaluate and interpret the textual data from literature, identifying key themes and patterns relate to private equity, governance, and accountability. Thematic analysis will help in categorizing and synthesizes findings from various sources, ensure a cohesive understanding of the issues. Analysis of the management problem. Private equity organizations operate within a distinctive financial environment categorized by their use of substantial debt, often through leveraged buyout to acquire companies. The high risk, high reward strategy aims to generate significant returns through operational improvements and strategic real alignment. However, these practices present noticeable challenges related to accountability and regulation. Unlike publicly traded company, private equity firms are not subject to same strength disclosure requirement, create a transparency gap that can obscure the financial health and governance practice of these entities. The lack of regulations can foster environment where conflict in interest and ethical lapses occur. Long-term stability of the firm they acquire. Segal 2022. The accountability gap in private equity arises from several factors. First, private equity firms are typically not required to disclose detailed financial information publicly, which make it difficult to stakeholder to access their true financial position and performance. This lack of transparency can lead to mismanagement and unethical practices as there is less external oversight to hold these firms accountability. Now the next slide, I will hand over to Ms. Aisha.
Hello everyone, I am AYSHA BINTE HUSSAIN. Proposed solution and recommendation. To address the accountability and regulatory challenges in private equity, a multi-phased approach is necessary. The following solution and recommendation aim to enhance transparency, improve governance, and mitigate the risks associated with private equity investments. Enhanced disclosure requirements. One of the primary steps to improve accountability in private equity is to adopt enhanced disclosure requirements similar to those for publicly traded companies. This includes regular financial reporting, detailed disclosures on governance practice, and the publication of key performance indicators, SALIHI 2023. Enhanced transparency can help stakeholders, including investors and regulators, better assess the financial health and operational practice of private equity firms. For example, mandatory quarterly financial reports and annual governance reports could provide a clear picture of a firm operations and performance. MECLAR 2019. Now I hand over my colleague IKBAL HOSSEN.
Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad IKBAL HOSSEN and my student ID is 22085379. I'm talking about my slide regulatory oversight bodies. Introducing dedicated regulatory oversight bodies for private equity can help monitor and enforce compliance with enhanced disclosure requirements and other regulatory standards. These bodies can be tasked with conducting regular audits, investigating potential ethical violation, and ensuring that the private equity firms adhere to best practices in governance and transparency. Balmer 2019, and similar to the role of the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) in the US for publicly traded companies, a dedicated oversight body can provide the necessary regulatory framework to ensure accountability. Jan 2022. And standardized ethical guidelines. Implementing standardized ethical guidelines and conflict of interest policies can help mitigate potential governance issues in private equity. These guidelines should be developed in consultations with industry experts and stakeholders to ensure they are comprehensive and practical. Kuiper 2022. For instance, the banking sector's regulatory framework, such as the Basel III guidelines, could serve as a model. This framework emphasizes risk management, transparency, and ethical conducts, which can be adapted to the private equity context. And the best practices from other industries. Drawing from best practices in other industries can provide valuable insights for improving accountability in private equity. For example, the corporate governance standards implemented in the public sector, such as independent board oversight and transparent reporting, can be applied to private equity firms. Jan 2023. Additionally, practice from the venture capital industry, such as detailed due diligence process and regular performance reviews, can be incorporated to enhance governance and risk management in private equity. Lean 2022. Slide number 12, recommendation for management. Management team within private equity firm should adopt robust internal controls and foster a culture of transparency and accountability. This includes implementing comprehensive risk management frameworks, conducting regular internal audits, and promoting ethical conduct throughout the organization. 2024 BINTE, prioritizing transparency and ethical governance management can build trust with investors and other stakeholders, thereby enhancing the firm's reputation and long-term success. And the last one, the expected outcomes. The proposed solution aims to achieve several key outcomes, including enhanced transparency, improved regulatory compliance, and increased accountability within the private equity sector. By implementing stricter disclosure requirement and establishing dedicated regulatory oversight, the report envisions a landscape where private equity firms operate with a greater responsibility towards all stakeholders. These outcomes align with the report aim to mitigate the risks associated with the current regulatory gaps and promote more stable and ethical financial environment. For private equity firms, these changes can lead to more sustainable business practices, ultimately benefiting their long-term performance. Investors will gain more confidence in the integrity of their investment, and employees of the portfolio companies may experience more stable and fair working conditions. Overall, these outcomes will contribute to a healthier financial ecosystem where the interests of all stakeholders are better protected, fostering trust and stability in the broader economy. So we are using the references with the Harvard styles. This references are below here. Now we are stop our presentation recorded. Thank you very much, everyone.